Welcome back to another episode of Texture Table Talks. You all know me. I'm Rachel Bergeron, your Chief Hair Analyst.
I am Tanisha Billups, your Chief Research Analyst.
I'm a guest joining these lovely ladies today. I'm Latrice Smith, the legal strategist, principal attorney at Thomas Law and Consulting.
Hi, I am Karen Marie with Styles Partnerships.
Hi, I'm Coco Manina, and I am your lead global consultant for Mielle.
All right, thank you, ladies. So yes, as you saw, we have two very special guests today. We have again, it's Latrice as our legal expert, and Coco, who is our new team member. So we have some important topics to discuss.
I'm very excited.
Very excited about it. As you all have probably seen, Mielle has been under a bit of controversy as of late. So we wanted to bring some legal advice as well as our stylists and scientists to discuss this controversy over the rosemary mint line, particularly the oil and the shampoo. So I'll pass it off to Tanisha.
What are our thoughts? Let's start off with that. Any thoughts around the controversy that immediately come to mind?
Why?
What? Yeah, why? And that is sad, honestly, because we hate to see Black-owned or founded businesses go through this, and it's unfortunately not new. After an acquisition, seeing this type of controversy come out, so it sucks to see such a up-and-coming brand to have to endure this as well.
A well-known brand that everyone has put their hands on at some point. I'm sure. So before we jump into our legal questions, I just want to touch on, since we are establishing ourselves as the healthy hair experts and the group of people that our customers can come to when they have questions when things like this happen, I want to ask our stylists. So this line is considered like a repairing and strengthening line, right? The rosemary mint is meant for breakage, damaged hair. When is it appropriate to use these types of products? Do you want to hop in?
Oh, I can.
Like a soda.
I always tell my clients the best time to use like a strengthening product is when you're actually having some type of issue. So it's not a every single time type of thing. If you feel that your hair has been weak from maybe silk pressing too much, or actually maybe a braids, too much blow drying, that's a good time to use it. Treat strengthening shampoos and conditioners like a pain pill. If you don't have a headache, there's no need to take anything for it.
So I don't need to prepare for my headache that I think I might have.
Because what happens is preventative. Right. What happens is you start to overuse the product, and then your hair is too much protein. And then the opposite effect happens because you're not balancing it out with the moisture that's needed as well. So I think a lot of education maybe should have gone into using this product for our customers or for their customers so they can better understand how to use it.
And that goes with reading as well. Consumer must read the product, right? So must read, then you'll know what product works for you. So that it's also a touch and feel mechanism with their products. But hey,
And when it comes to reading as well, read the ingredients. Because a lot of times you could be allergic to these things. You don't, and you didn't read the ingredients and you're using it and you start having side effects based on what's in it. And that can cause a lot of issues as well. So just making sure you're reading the ingredients. And then if you're experiencing anything with it, maybe go see a doctor or dermatologist first. Don't continue to use something if you notice something different is starting to happen. You're having like an adverse effect from it.
Right.
And from a legal perspective, that's why those things are there. So to disclose to people, so if they know they have issues with certain chemicals and products, you've been put on notice if it's on the bottle.
You're right. That's right. From a science standpoint, what do you all think?
I think that there's accountability on both ends, right? So first, myself as a consumer, I need to learn and know what my texture, type, and condition is. Then I can choose the right products. So that means, can I reference someone that I see on a TikTok? Know what I'm saying? So many things need to be taken into consideration, like your porosity, your condition, or do you heat straighten, do you steam? That's like, what's your density? So all those things come into play when you think about choosing a product. So I think we need to make our product choices more intentional, not be such product junkies. Learn our hair, or at least go to a professional partner that can help you learn about your hair, even if it's just starting out. Go to someone that you know isn't going to just sit you in the chair and do it, but they talk you through it and teach you how to maintain it when you're not in their chair. Then you can go and choose the right products. I think we tend to misdiagnose, starting off with our hair strands, and we see something, and for some reason, everyone always goes towards protein, towards breakage, and that there's so many things that come before that, before we get to that place. So when I think of solutions and how, as a consumer, when things like this come out, to make sure that I'm not on that side of it, is understanding my texture and type, partnering with a professional, and then being intentional on my product choices that align with what my hair challenges are and what my hair goals are.
Right.
Absolutely. I agree.
Another thing that I see clients do, they like the tingle feeling, like the rose glory. So I want this to make my scalp tingle. And we're like, no, that's not what you need right now. Your hand doesn't feel like you doing something. Yeah, so you just using product just to get the sensation that'll actually drying your hair out.
Yeah. Or cause hair reaction. Which the thing is what happened with most people, or at least the negative comments here.
Yeah.
And I think with this line in particular, it's like you have rosemary essential oils, you have peppermint essential oils, you have lavender essential oils. And these things are known irritants to a lot of people. So it's like if you're using, oh, okay, this TikTok star used it, these people like it, I'm gonna try it just because they used it, and you didn't know, like, these products are actually very heavy. Like, I put my hands on the mask and the oil, and they're pretty heavy. They're not really gonna be good for fine or medium. It's more for the coarse, broken hair strands, chemical treated, exactly. You catch yourself.
So reading it says
Exactly. Or sporty. So you need to pay attention to those things, and if you're trying it. And I think also for those who are saying like their hair is falling out, if you felt all those tingles, if you saw, okay, I used it one time, it didn't work. Obviously the first time, I don't think it was like I used it most cases. I used it day one, or at least with these accusations, and then I just had amazing results, and then on the same model. And 4 washes later, the results were just horrible. That was probably you didn't really get an amazing impact, and you kept using it, and then more hair is falling out or what have you. And it was like, this wasn't the product for you to begin with, and you're overusing it at that. So,
And I'm sorry, I'm gonna say, stop thinking you're all for hair type 4. Stop it. Please. Oh my goodness, it's killing me. It's killing me. You were gonna say something though. I said I could know.
But I was just gonna piggyback on what you said when it comes to claims. That's gonna be a big part of any lawsuits that may be out there. How did they use the product? Did they follow the instructions? So when it comes to liability for them as a company, that's gonna be a huge part of, we had these instructions here. Did you follow them? Did you not? What was the process? We say test the area. Did you test the area? Those are gonna be all things that come out in the fact finding portion of a lawsuit.
Yeah, so test patch before you apply to your skin. It's just like their skincare. So you have to test first. So this is really good. Okay, do we have any specific, I know I do, but do we have any specific legal questions that we'd like to ask our guests? You can go first. Cheer first. Oh, my question is, us being healthy hair experts, and we recommend a lot of brands. So we're brand agnostic. That means you focus on the science of your hair, the science and the technology and the formulation behind the products. How do we steer clear of any liability when we have these type of brand controversies? Because there's been a lot of them. Olaplex has had one, Mielle's had one, Diva Curl I think had one. So how do we still steer clear of that?
Absolutely. And I think a big part of that is going to be what we just talked about, really evaluating the facts. Every scenario is going to be different. That's a big thing in law. There's no cookie cutter answer for a lot of things. So really looking at everything behind the situation and the issue that people are having. So are these valid claims that you as professionals and as the scientists and behind this could say, this is something that could likely happen from using this product. Maybe we should pay attention to some of this. Are you seeing things that are consistent and people with consistent claims? So those are the things that are really important to pay attention to, really the facts surrounding the specific issue. And is that, well, and if it's kind of something that's going on, or if you guys have tried and you're like, yeah, I did notice something like that before. So really looking at the facts and evaluating, then seeing what comes to lawsuits. As we may or may not know, like a lot of times lawsuits get settled outside of court, so we don't really know the facts or what happened or this and that, but just really as the healthy hair experts, you can really look at what people are saying and really know if these are things that can happen based on the ingredients of these products. So I have to use your expertise and really evaluate the information you hear.
Anybody else have a question?
I actually had a question because I've seen quite a few things online about this whole controversy and like where is the difference with the ingredients, because that's the claim that these new sets of bottles, there's a difference between before because this wasn't as much of an issue. And even looking at some of the bad reviews going through on their own site, I saw dating back to 2 years ago the claims of my hair is falling out. But all the reviews I saw prior to that, it was more just like, yeah, it's greasy or itchy, but nothing really of like the sort about hair loss. So if for Mielle's instance, like if P&G has a sourcer for some of the ingredients that they've made changes and Mielle maybe doesn't have knowledge of that, who would be liable in that case? Yeah, for that.
It's kind of thinking back a big picture liability when you have issues like this. So we do have a lot of factors because P&G might not be they're sourcing their products from other places. They might be packaging everything together, but they might be sourcing certain things, especially when we're thinking about natural things and stuff from other places. So a smart lawyer is going to sue everybody. No, that's right. Start off with they're going to bring everybody in on the lawsuit. They're going to do their research and their due diligence and see who are the people that they're getting their products from. A lot of that stuff is going to come up in discovery, and so there might end up being new defendants brought onto the case. So those are type of things they're definitely going to sue everybody, and that's part of what comes up in the lawsuit. What specifically is the issue, and where is it coming from? And they're going to do research if there's a class action, they might go into the factories and see what's going on. They might see where things are sourced in, or if you're being consistent with your sourcing. So those are the things that they're going to really start. Part of a lawsuit is pulling back the umbrella and really seeing and pulling back the curtains and really seeing what's going on with these companies that are behind the scenes and what are their practices. If we were sitting there and now this was my client and we were at the table, I'd really say, let's look at what's going on and let's have an honest hard look at our product. Are we causing a problem here that we need to address? And be honest with our consumers about that and say, okay, let's really look at things we were doing prior to the acquisition and things that may have changed that we truly might not intentionally have changed, but could have inadvertently caused some of these problems. So I'd really, as an organization, wanting to provide quality care, I'd really say, and I wouldn't be with the organization that didn't, what do we do? Did we do something wrong here and not really realize it? What are the true things? Let's line up everything A, B to C and see what may have changed here that could have caused it. So that would have been my first thing. And then depending on what that resulted, I'd share that with the public. And as the CEO, which Monique still, I'd come out and say, hey, we've done this. This is the results we found. And just be honest with my consumers about what the results were. So that's be the best way, is to just be an open book about it. That's what people want to hear and see. They don't want you covering up. And there's a big idea behind going public or going corporate or selling and these type of stereotypes, which we've talked about. But that's the piece that really pulls that back. Is she's still there? She's P&G, subsidiary of P&G. So she's there. She's still the CEO. She's, from what I know and heard her speak recently, still very involved in the company. So I think she is still a personal brand for her. She's still there. So I'm sure she's paying attention to what people are saying and wants it to. That was her ultimate goal when she started the company, was to be healthy and to provide great care, quality care and quality products. So really, if it was me, making sure we continue to do that. If you're a corporate and a good start to something like that, thinking about a transition from a smaller company to a bigger brand, is being to stay on and be a part of that process really helps there. And like you said, just creating that transparency with my consumers.
If you address your consumers with compassion and love, then they'll be like, "Absolutely, give her a chance."
Right.
Yeah.
You come a week, maybe a month later, let's hold off on blasting her. But I think the way she came out and was very,
Yeah.
she's going through it right now, and I just wish she would have had a little bit more grace with that, and
But that's why my first answer was called the PRT.
Baby or not, it's still a business. And you can say what you want behind closed doors, but when it comes to in person, you got to pull it together. Yeah, and that because we already know in this industry, once your brand gets blackballed, it's so hard because now we have so many other options on the shelves, and we really do support our people in this industry. But the minute something is not right, we move on.
Yeah, and that's why that's my answer. I would be as transparent as possible. It's impossible to be without, she got trade secrets and all that. But that would be my answer. As much transparency as possible. I think exactly what you said, to try to bring back some consumer confidence is so important.
What I would have liked to have maybe heard was, hey, we've been hearing about this issue. Let's take this particular product off the shelf for 3 months, do some product testing, and bring it back.
Yeah.
That would have made people feel better, even if you didn't even test the dang product.
Or even if she had sent out a form like, okay, if you're experiencing to complete this form so that we can have it on record, so that when we're doing our testing, we know what to look out.
I would even take it a little bit further and say, tell me the steps to describe speaks than before. And it may even look something like what we talked about earlier on. What was the consumer doing, or what issues were they having and precipitated the problem? And that helps understand, okay, when is a better use for this person versus that person.
Yeah. Right. And I think too, with specific products, there needs to be like a video tutorial. So absolutely when to use and how to use.
And not just from TikTokers.
I just want to say, to kind of close us out, that at My Ivana, we really do care, and we are passionate and detail oriented and extremely picky and persistent about the products that we recommend. We take personal pride in what we do. So all of us sitting up here have you all in mind. So, if you're not sure, ask an expert.
With in doubt, ask an expert.
Thank you, y'all.
yeah.